Welcome, Yogi. I'm excited about this one. One of the things that sometimes can be stifling surrounding creating your own yoga practice is you don't really know what to do once you get onto your yoga mat. And yeah, there are a ton of videos and there's a ton of content online. At the end of the day, however, you are the perfect person to know exactly what your heart, your body, and your mind needs. We'll be working together, you and I, on tapping into your intuition, which is that inner knowing that you already have inside of yourself of knowing what your body needs in any given moment. This is going to be a really good practice for you to tap into figuring out how do you even know what you need. So roll out your mat. If you don't have a mat, roll out your blanket and let's get started. Welcome to Yoga with Carolynne. In this channel, you will gain the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to practice yoga, no matter your size, your age, or your ability to touch your toes. In the interest of being vulnerable and real and honest, which is something that I always tell my students, and it's sometimes harder to practice what you preach. With this video, I've struggled with the shoulds surrounding creating content. So I should be creating really polished videos. I should be bringing you whatever the latest content is. And I got really overwhelmed and really stuck on what I should be doing. With the help of my closest go-tos around me, as well as with the help of my own yoga practice, it was a reminder to stop and ask, well, what do I want to bring? What do I want to share? One of the things that I thought might be helpful and what I get really excited about is empowering you to do what you need. So my job is only to guide you and offer you the tools to make sure that you're safe once you get into the poses. However, at the end of the day, I'm not in your body. This is your practice, it's not mine. We'll be working together to tap into that inner knowing that you already have. Because there's no shoulds. Once you get onto your yoga mat, there's no shoulds. So for today's practice, start with getting rid of any sort of shoulds. Just make your way onto your mat. That's it. That's the hardest part. We'll work together with this. So make your way onto your back. So once you make your way onto your back, your legs can be straight. Your legs can be bent. If the legs are bent, soles of the feet are on the mat and your knees can just knock together. You can place your hands palm face down on your belly, or you can place your arms alongside the body with the palms open towards the sky. Please bring your eyes to a close and bring some softness to the face. Feel yourself arrive. And before we do anything with the practice, simply give yourself permission to be here. And then check in with the physical body, noticing any sensations in the body. Noticing any spots in the body where you might feel a little tight, might feel a little sore, or any areas in the body where you want to give a little bit more attention to during your practice. Now check in with your heart and your mind. Notice how you're feeling, not how you should be feeling or how you were feeling the last time you were in a yoga class. Just notice, how have you shown up today? Is the mind feeling busy, or is the mind feeling at ease? Is the mind feeling critical, or is the mind feeling restless? Or not. Now begin to bring your attention to your breath.
Noticing where you're breathing in the body. Noticing what it feels like to maybe be paying attention to the breath for the first time today. Begin to bring in a breath that's a little bit more on purpose, a little bit more intentional than you might usually breathe. As you begin to send that breath deep down into the belly. Feeling the entire torso, belly, ribs, and chest fill up with the breath. And what can you soften and let go of on your exhale? Three more deep breaths just like that. Once you have taken those 3 deep breaths, begin to move. Beginning to wiggle in the fingers, wiggling the toes, and then moving in any way that feels good. This is the beginning of your chance to check in with your intuition. That inner knowing that knows, oh yeah, it'll feel really good here to move in this way, to stretch in this way. Sometimes it can be a little scary to really entirely listen to what you need. What happens if you listen? Few more moments here to move in any way that feels good. And meeting with the knees in towards the chest, hugging those knees in nice and close. Option here to really enjoy that stillness. Maybe you just like having the knees hugging in towards the chest. Or you like to have movement. Maybe rocking from side to side, massaging the low back. Take a few deep breaths in the stillness or finding that movement of rocking from side to side. And then rolling over towards the left, bringing left arm underneath of your head to act as a pillow. Taking a few deep breaths into the back line of the body, into the low back, into the upper back. And then pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat. Once you make your way seated, the eyes are closed. And check in with the upper back, check in with the shoulders and the neck here, and drop your chin in towards your chest. Taking a few deep breaths into the back line of the neck, into the shoulders. And then on your next inhale, rolling one ear towards one shoulder. On the exhale, dropping the chin back in towards the chest, and the inhale rolls over towards the other side. Exhaling and inhaling as you find these half circles with the head. Now, you can stay with this moving from side to side, or maybe for your practice today, it'll feel better to stay on one side. Take an extra inhale and exhale.
Then moving towards the other side, taking an extra inhale and exhale. The options are there for you. What do you need? What would feel best here? Coming back into stillness and into center with the head, we'll come into a tabletop position, making your way onto your hands and your knees. Once you make your way onto your hands and your knees, I'm going to give you some more options here. If you feel like you would like to be giving your spine some love and attention, cat and cow pose here might feel really good. On the inhale, dropping the belly down, gaze looks up towards the sky. Exhale, pressing into the hands and knees. As you press the shoulder blades up, the chin tucks in towards the chest. So maybe this is your movement, inhaling and exhaling, moving into those two shapes. Maybe your hips are feeling like they need a little bit of love and attention today. So in that case, in your tabletop position, you can begin with one leg circling the knee out to the side. We'll give you a few moments here to choose your cat and cow pose or your hip movement. And coming back into stillness, we'll come into a wide-legged child's pose, keeping the toes to touch, opening the knees nice and wide, and walking the hands forward to come into your child's pose. Rest the forehead onto the mat or onto a block, beginning to rock the head from side to side, massaging that spot in between the eyebrows. This being in yoga, the spot where your third eye resides, where your intuition resides. Hands coming back underneath the shoulders, pressing yourself back up into a tabletop position. Swing the heels over towards one side and the legs come in front of you. So I'm going to give you two different options here for a forward fold. So one will be a forward fold that will help tap into the back line of your legs to lengthen your hamstrings. Second option will be a nice stretch for your hips. So seated forward fold with the legs in front of you with your supports beneath your sit bones. You can make your way into your seated forward fold with the legs straight, with the forehead coming down forward, and a prop coming beneath your forehead, your chest, your heart. So that's option one. Option two would be to bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees up wide. This is your hip opening stretch. And beginning to tilt at the hips, bringing the heart forward, walking the hands forward, and letting the head come down. We'll take a few deep breaths in either option one or option two. As you explore what this practice looks like for you. Take 3 more deep breaths wherever you are.
Once you've taken those 3 deep breaths, hands come down, press yourself back up.
Then we'll come into our next shape. So your 2 options for your next 2 shapes are either supported fish pose or supported bridge pose. If at the beginning of the practice where you checked in with your body and your low back was feeling like it needed some attention, then that would be supported bridge. If you felt like your shoulders, your upper back need a little bit of love and attention today, then supported fish is where you would choose to go. I'll give you a quick rundown for either. So taking your blocks, for supported fish pose, you would take your blocks and place them toward the front end of your mat. First block is in its lowest height. It will be coming in between the shoulder blades. Second block is for your head.
Laying back down onto the blocks, opening the arms up into a T shape. Supported fish. Supported bridge pose would just be using 1 block. Soles of the feet coming onto the mat. Pressing into the soles of the feet to lift the hips up. Guide the block underneath of your hips, and then release. Enjoying a few more deep breaths in either pose that you have chosen for your practice today. Making your way out of whatever shape that you had chosen. And doing any last final movements that will feel really good here. So maybe you want to do a little bit more stretching, a little bit more movement, depending on what it is that you need today. And then eventually making your way into a comfortable shape for final relaxation, Savasana. Final relaxation can be practiced on your back, it can be practiced on your belly, in child's pose or on your side, choosing whatever shape is a comfortable and a supported one. Bring your eyes to a close. Nice and slow. Bringing both of your hands palm face down onto your heart. Taking a few deep inhales right into that spot. Before you make your way off of your yoga mat, back into your day-to-day life, whatever you have to get done for the rest of the day, I'll invite you to make a little promise to yourself that you will keep listening to what it is that you need. You will keep honoring that, allowing your intuition to guide you a lot more than the shoulds and expectations. Making it a habit to ask yourself, what do I need?
thank you so much for joining me during today's intuitive practice. I hope it was fun to try something new a little bit, where it was a chance for you to choose what you wanted to do during today's practice. If you are not a subscriber already and you really enjoy taking this chance to be guided through a practice where you're learning a little bit more as far as how you can be empowered in creating your own yoga practice, then I would encourage you to become a subscriber. That way we can work together, you and I, towards creating your own yoga practice in your own body, and whatever that looks like for you. From my heart to yours, namaste.